All right, let's get into Tom's favorite subject, the biggest flop of the year.
Oh, I can go
Video
take a nap
game
now,
wise.
finally.
Tom, you don't enjoy what's been going on with this at all?
I don't
This
really
Assassin's
give a shit.
Creed game? Like, holy shit, what a shit show this game is.
No, and I don't care.
Whoa,
Literally,
Brock with
that's a
50
big one.
gifted subs! Whoa!
Is that a shot?
We'll do a shot for that. Yeah, we should.
Do a shot.
Thank you, Brock.
Let me grab my shot glass.
Look at that. Give Brock a shout out if you got a sub for that.
I need something to get this Foster's taste out of my mouth.
Yeah, do a shot for this. 50 subs, yeah. Yeah, you already have a Foster's, people in the chat are saying. Tom, you wouldn't want to, would you have any interest in playing as a black homosexual samurai?
That's a
No.
Because that's Yusuke. Did you know there's 3 romances in the game and 2 of them are with dudes? One's with there's 2 of them. One's a non-binary guy in Japan, which didn't exist in feudal Japan either, by the way.
Right.
And then the other is like some straight up samurai gay guy. And the third one is a woman who 18 Japanese emperors descended from.
Did you see the clip
So
of
they all got a little Yusuke in them now.
Did you see the clip of the one where he breaks the fourth wall to give the audience like a bit of a side eye when he goes, "No, I don't mind that you're a dude, that you've got a dick," and then he kind of
looks
looks
high.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
It's like, what the f- is that?
I'll tell you right now, I'm playing the game right now as I'm talking to you guys. I'm literally playing as Yasuke right now. He breaks the game, and playing as him, it doesn't feel like an Assassin's Creed game at all. It just feels like I'm playing some action game now because I don't have to climb anything. I don't have to use my brain for literally anything. I just run around and kill everything, and like you just don't die because he's like invincible basically.
Dante,
And
you drink?
He sticks out like a sore thumb in this game.
Share my screen.
Really not good.
Thanks, Brock. Cheers.
Cheers,
Dude.
Brock.
Ubisoft is done.
I am not gay. I have relationships with women and sex with men.
And I got news for
Ooh.
you. That means you're gay.
I literally
the guy-
just met that guy too in the game. I just met him too.
That's the guy who puts it in Yasuke's ass.
Oh dear
Yep.
God.
Does he give him a reach around?
It really is insane how bad the Yasuke stuff is in this game and how forced it is. Even how he joins you, like I don't know if I probably won't speak spoilers, but let's just say like the way he joins you is really stupid and unrealistic as to how it would happen.
And Damien, I don't think anyone cares about spoilers.
Yeah,
Like,
no one
on-
gives a.
I don't
Okay,
think
well,
anyone cares.
I'll just say this: like, basically, there's like a bunch of these elites ninjas, and Yasuke kills one of them, and he's only been a samurai for about 6 months at the time, and Naoe immediately, basically forgives him for essentially killing what is like pretty much her uncle. Like, there's like no other way to put it. That's pretty much like what he is. And Yasuke literally kills this guy, and she's just like, "Yeah, it's fine. We can be friends now. It's okay." It's ridiculous. It's insane. And like I said, like I'm doing a castle right now as Yasuke. There's no anything to it. You just like run around and kill people. There's no challenge. There's no climbing. There's no stealth. Nothing. They just like
What, you can't climb, or you just don't really need to?
you don't really have to. Like he can barely climb in this game. Like he can climb the smallest things, but like he can't climb like an assassin can. It's impossible.
The thing that
It's just
the
stupid.
thing
Yeah.
that, sorry,
And
the
then,
thing that gets
level
me
up-
about this is the fact that Ubisoft has been making Assassin's Creed games, and like these games have been being made by these companies for so long, and they come out with a new game, and those mechanics are the worst parts of the game. It's like
Somebody wants to know if he can swim.
Yeah, he can. He can swim in a full suit of armor. Doesn't
think you
matter how
got
heavy his
a
armor
little
is.
bit of a racist joke, but
Oh yeah, I'm just saying that he literally can swim in the game. Yeah, they just like
thank
just,
you
like, do
again,
not
Brock.
do that.
Yeah,
you,
Ubisoft is
bro.
not going to recover from this.
I mean, they're doing a lot of selective wording with it too, right? They're saying the whole like, oh, it has 2 million players, but they're not saying copies sold. They have all those
Yeah,
Twitter
that's
accounts
the
trying to say
cope.
that's gotcha.
2 million players versus 2 million sold, which are completely different things.
'cause
And
you can play the game on
basically,
Ubisoft
it's like
Plus.
they're celebrating being the biggest rental.
Wait,
That's
isn't
basically what it is.
the game already discounted?
Yes.
Yeah, a couple places have it on sale, but
Wow.
the reason that they're probably hitting that high number is because people are going and signing up for Ubisoft Plus. I think that's what the
Yep.
service is called.
Yep.
But the difference is, like, first off, Xbox has never made any money with Game Pass, ever.
No.
And Game Pass is a much better, like, there's no big games coming to Ubisoft Plus, so a lot of that number is going to be churn. And by the way, it's not really much of a win when it's only $17 to sign up, play the game, and then quit. $17 for the
They're
month.
still counting that as if it's like some big win for them. Like, look how many players we have. It's like, sure, but if it's $17 per player and they're only going to pay once and they're not going to pay for another month because they'll beat it within a month.
Yeah,
like,
and then they're going to
you're
dip
not
out.
making anywhere near the amount of money that you need. And I think even though you have all these websites and stuff, trying to like paint a story as if this game is like some big success, just remember they
That's what
did the
the
exact
Chuds
same
have
thing
been
with Dragon
owned.
Age.
It's owning the Chuds right now.
I can't believe that there's some websites that are actually saying this game could be up for Game of the Year. They're just delusional. This game is like, I've played every Assassin's Creed game pretty much. I've beaten all the RPG ones. This is without a shadow of the doubt the worst of the RPG Assassin's Creed. Like 100%. The world is very weird because it's very foresty. Like, there's lots of trees, which is fine, but there's a lot of parts of the map that you just can't climb. Like, I don't know how else to explain that. Like, you'll try to climb things, like, and not just as Yasuke, by the way, as Naoe too, and she just can't climb things because there's all these slopes that are just constantly trying to make you essentially go back to the roads. So you're not really allowed to like kind of go off the beaten path, if you will. You're just kind of forced to follow the road. So it's sort of linear in that sense.
Well,
if that
then
makes
that's not
sense.
an Assassin's Creed game.
You're right, 100%. Like right now, like I said, like I'm playing as Yasuke right now. I'm just running around this castle killing people, and like they can't do anything to me. Like nothing. Like, he's so strong. It's borderline insane how strong he is. Like, it's actually ridiculous how strong this guy is. Like,
Oh,
I don't
that's
go in this
neat.
in
Is
Assassin's
that
Creed.
true that you could microtransaction this game and unlock shit?
I mean, kind of. Technically, you can buy like armor and stuff if you really wanted to. I don't see why you would do that, but I guess you could. There is like this free battle pass thing in the game that you can do, but it's kind of pointless too. And then you have like your actual microtransactions too. There's like entire like armor sets that you can use and
You
stuff.
can
and
buy map unlocks.
Yeah. You can buy a thing that unlocks so that you don't have to actually explore the map, which defeats the whole purpose of the game. But then you just do that, and then you can just see where everything is on the map, like where all the the towers are, all the camps.
So
all
there's
the tubes.
microtransactions in a single player game
Yes, day one.
that
Yeah.
are game breaking for, like, basically you're paying to unlock shit. It's so stupid. You're
And the
dope if
story
you're paying
is
for that.
not the best, I would say. I still think out of the RPG ones, I still think Origins had the best overall story and like vibe to it all. I would say for me personally, it would go Origins, Odyssey, Valhalla, and then probably this. So
For
since they
what?
started making in terms of like the RPG Assassin's Creed games,
Oh, okay, yeah.
I would consider that to be like the ranking. Like,
I agree
Origins is
with
the best
you,
of the
but I
four.
haven't played Shadows. I've played all the others, but I haven't played Shadows.
Like, Valhalla was like pretty mid, way too
Yep.
big of a game personally, but it wasn't a terrible game.
I agree.
Because like again, you could play Eivor and like you could be male or female, do whatever you want. Another problem with this game is there's a lot of things on the map that Yasuke cannot do. Like for example, there's quite a bit of like the Ubisoft towers, if you will, that Yasuke just can't actually get to. So you have to go into the menu to the inventory, and then you have to hold down square, and then you have to like basically transform into Noway basically, and then you can climb up and do the thing. And then once you get back down, then you have to go back into the inventory, switch back to Yasuke if you want to keep playing him. But then there's also other things, like for example, there's like shrines you can't get to, for example, that only Yasuke can get to because he can pick up explosive barrels and Naoe can, because I guess she's not like physically strong enough to do it. And Yasuke has a gun and a bow and arrow, but Naoe's a shinobi apparently, but she has no access to bow and arrow. She only has shurikens and kunais.
That doesn't make
So
any
there's all-
sense because they would
It's just
use arrow
very
and arrow
bizarre. It's
too.
very, very, very bizarre. It's just like they basically just took what you guys know from Assassin's Creed and they just split what you would normally be able to do, but between two people instead of one. So they just made it like needlessly convoluted for no reason, if that makes sense. And that's like the best way I can like describe it to you. But yeah, playing as Yasuke, like this, it's just not Assassin's Creed. Like it's straight up, it's just not Assassin's Creed. It just feels like you're playing like an action game with like a katana or a naginata, which is like a big spear with a blade on it or something.
I was just
And, like,
thinking, Tom, you
Yasuke's
should do
insanely strong.
this. You should do this. You should go to Japan and find yourself a missus.
What? What do
Become
you
a
mean?
samurai.
Tom probably walked
Oh,
away because he doesn't give a shit
Yeah,
about
he
any of this.
did.
Yeah. The thing is like
It's
I
on
said
the
this in a
menu.
video before, but like if they actually wanted a historically accurate character that was like a stranger in a strange land, they would have used what's his name, William Adams, who was an actual samurai that was like a white guy. That the show Shogun's based off of his, or the book too is based off of his adventure, and he was an actual samurai that actually existed, had kids, and helped like bring trade to Japan and all this. But the problem is he's a white guy, so we can't have that. So with
How
with
about we just
Yasuke,
tell the story of a real samurai?
Yeah, how about they just tell the
another
story-
thing, another thing I don't like about the game is that
Everything.
the female, yeah, well, the female character in the game that you play is Naoe. She's the daughter of Fujibayashi Nagato, who was one of the real life legendary Iga samurais, or not samurai, sorry, shinobis. So there's basically in real life there was like 3 Iga shinobis that were like, these were real Japanese legendary ninjas that were like, they were just like, they're like literally real life like superheroes, pretty much how like insane they were, right? So her dad is one of those guys that actually existed. So you're playing the daughter of an actual male ninja that existed, but of course you can't play as him because he's a man. So what else I don't like is that one of the villains of the game is Hattori Hanzo, which if chat knows who
What?
he is, exactly. So like
From Mortal
our-
Kombat?
No, well
Torio Hanzo.
Scorpion's based on him, yeah. Scorpion's based on that guy.
Isn't that a character in Kill Bill?
I don't know.
Yes,
He-
he's a sword
he is in-
maker.
He is in
Yeah.
Neo. If you've
Yeah.
ever played Neo, he's the guy that has the cat in his his robe. But like Hattori Hanzo's like, yeah, he's
Very
inspiration-
legendary ninja.
very legendary.
Yeah.
Like one of the most legendary Iga shinobi of all time, all that shit. Anyway, he's a villain and you can't play as him. And it's like you guys had the most perfect, I guess you could say, male character, if you will, that we could have played at, which was Hattori Hanzo, or even Fujibayashi Nagato, like either one of them really. And they were like, nah, you're gonna play his daughter, even though there never existed a female shinobi. The whole concept of a female shinobi didn't exist until I think like I want to say 1950 to 1970, somewhere around there. Some Japanese novelist basically created the very first concept of a female shinobi, but they only existed in books. They were not real, like shinobis. They never existed. Like women were not shinobis, basically is what I'm trying to say. And yet in this game, they're like, nah, man, Naoe is like this real life shinobi that like, did all these things. And it's like, no, like it's not believable at all. And just the way the story's told, because of like how everything is so secluded, they're never able to really build the story up to anything interesting because they don't have the luxury of doing that because of the way that Ubisoft structures their games. So I haven't beaten the game yet, obviously. I'm like, trudging through it. I'm level like 23, I think, right now. I don't know what the max level is. Actually 24, I just leveled up. But from what I understand, especially from like SkillUp's review, which I encourage people to go watch that review of his, even he says like the story of this game is just complete utter nonsense until the last like 4 hours where things start happening, which is like every Ubisoft game ever. Which is what I hate about it, So just there's a lot of problems with it, in my opinion. At least it runs well on PS5 Pro. I'll give it that. At least it has that. But like, that's not the.
So hang on, it's running better on console than it is on PC.
Well, that
Yeah,
happens a
like
lot,
always.
Rhino. Yeah,
Okay.
usually
it happens,
the
it happens
PC
all the time. Yeah.
usually PC games get poorly optimized, get treated like shit as
Yeah,
a PC gamer.
Because
usually.
if people don't know, pretty much like back in the day, right? There's always one primary platform, if you will. So back in the day, it was Xbox 360, and then once PlayStation kind of took over during the PS3 to PS4 transition era, PS4 became the main console, and now PS5 is like the new main console, if you will, which is very
But-
unfortunate for PC players, which sucks, I know, but
But it also depends
Go
on
ahead.
what kind of game, right? Because I mean, if you're playing like a MOBA, or if you're playing like a hero
True,
shooter,
yeah.
usually those kind of games play better on a PC than it does on a.
True, yeah,
on
but
the
I'm just
console.
saying that like the base version, usually what developers will do, they'll focus on one platform, if you will, that they believe will get them the most sales, right? So obviously, if we're being honest with ourselves, that is going to be PlayStation. It just is. Like, I'm not trying to say PlayStation is better than PC or anything. Like, I don't care
No,
where
but
you
you're
play,
right.
play whatever you want. I
Sales-wise, it's
don't
gonna
give
be
a shit. Yeah, I don't care where you play. But the only reason I'm saying is that they target PS5 because that's the one that's probably going to sell the most. And personally, having played Shadows on PS5, it runs fine. There's no issues. I'm playing on the Pro. I've only crashed, I think, once, and that's it, which is actually not that bad. So the game doesn't run bad or anything like that. But if you're saying like, does it look great? Ghost of Tsushima on the base PS4 looks better than Shadows, in my
I
opinion.
believe that. Yeah.
Like Tsushima looks 100 like way better than this.
And this is
Tsushima
supposed to be the
plays
Hold on a
first-
second. I got a bunch of super chats I need to read.
Oh, go and do it.
Bike Shorts Senpai for 20 says, I literally thought they were going to start playing Down with the Sickness by Disturbed. That's when we were showing the prison video.
Oh,
Taker 610 for 20 says, in the spirit of Foster's groping, it's Australian for hello. By the way, as only drunk 3PO can, Yasuke is now called You Suck Me. Someone put Ubisoft on Tiger King's forehead as he says, I'm never going to financially recover from this. I like that.
Yeah.
Foster's. It's groping.
Yeah.
It's Australian for hello. Mr. Burger for 20 says, Flash, as White Soul Brother #1, can you explain to me why media in Hollywood is pushing black guys to be gay? Mr. Burger trivia after FlashCast, raid ready to emasculate them because masculinity is a big deal. In
Yeah, and
Black
they're using black women to push it even harder. So
this person
Yeah.
says for 20, whatever this money is, says I'm dog water. Thank you. $20. You can call me whatever you want. Either's one for 20. Hello, guys. Pull up the YouTube short titled Assassin's Creed Shadows Bad Voice Acting. Mushrooms, shit take. Funny you say that. I have one of those clips right here.
I'll just say this. If you were thinking of playing Shadows, I would definitely wait for a deep sale.
I would
If you
suggest
want-
not playing Shadows at all,
Yeah,
even
like
for
if
free.
on it, yeah, like the only reason why I
Yeah.
am playing it obviously is because I do it for YouTube. If I wasn't doing YouTube, I'd be playing Atelier Yumiya right now, which I got that game from Koei Tecmo recently. That game came out yesterday for everything, like PC, Xbox, PlayStation. That game's awesome. It's like a turn-based hybrid, somewhat action RPG. It's like open world-ish and all the crafting and everything. I love that game. It's great. It just came out. It's an awesome game. I'd rather play that than it.
Here's that bad voice acting. You ready for this? This is the worst one I've seen.
Where's Resentment can grow quietly without much warning after a storm. Mushroom.
Hold on.
That's so bad. Dude.
This is real from the game, Verbal.
Resentment can grow quietly without much warning after a storm. Mushrooms can too. Shiitake?
Mushrooms. The smell of dirt, grass, and
Oh,
dirt.
it's bad.
Wait, is that real?
Yes.
That's real. Yeah, that's real.
That's not like AI.
No, it's real.
That's real. Voice actor. Let's watch it again.
Resentment can grow quietly without
Oh,
much
this is bad,
warning
dude.
after a storm. Mushrooms can too.
Mushrooms.
Shiitake?
Mushrooms.
She sounds like she has downs.
She sounds like she has like jaundice or something in her mouth. You know what I mean? Like her teeth are up or something. Yeah, the voice acting is not good in this game, unfortunately. A lot of people are saying play in Japanese, but like I have to play it in English because I need to see it the way Ubisoft thinks the majority of players are going to see it as. Which is
I've seen clips of
and
it
it's
in
bad.
Japanese. The Japanese voice acting is good. I watched a
Yeah, but
couple
I mean,
of clips
that's-
comparing
yeah,
the
well, it's
English to the Japanese. The Japanese blows away, and it's the same in Tsushima. I played that game in Japanese.
Yeah, Ghost of Tsushima is just like, man, that game is so much superior to this game. Like, even if chat's played Ghost of Tsushima, if you really want to play a Japanese open world game, just go play Rise of the Ronin. Rise of the Ronin's from Team Ninja. It's from the guys that made the Neo games. It has basically the same combat as Neo. In my opinion, Neo, Rise of the Ronin, that is some of the best action RPG action gameplay you can have in a game right now. And I'm not underselling it. There's a lot of different weapons, tons of combos, tons of shit you can do. It still has that open world Assassin's Creed element where you like run around and, you know, clear out a base and do this, do that, whatever. But like the way it plays, shit's all over Shadows, all over it. I don't think it runs the best on PC yet. Unfortunately, it's like a tale's old as time. But at least on PlayStation, where I played it last year, I thought that game was great. Storyline was good. Characters were interesting. They're all based on real people for the most part. Like one of the main characters is a guy called Ryoma, who is actually, when you remember the Yakuza games, they made like a old Japanese version of that game called Ishin, like Kiryu in Yakuza. So like, there's a lot of realistic people that are in this game. Dude, Rise of the Ronin's great. That game's awesome. I really hope they do a sequel, and they fix a lot of the open world problems that Ubisoft still hasn't fixed in 2025. It's insane to me.
Verbal. Here's his they them gay lover.
Oh,
Look how happy he looks. He's so happy that he's having gay sex. Looks like he just got done doing some fentanyl.
It's just crazy to me that like Yasuke in this game becomes a samurai after 6 months, and he's like adept enough to.
I think it's a little more
literally
crazy
just
that
run
they
into
inserted non-binary people into feudal Japan.
yeah.
I mean that
that's
too,
crazy.
but like just the fact that like they're trying to make you buy the fact that this guy is like, he's been a samurai for like less time than it takes someone to become like a journeyman plumber, and he's somehow like, you know, massacring people. Makes no sense to me. You know what I mean? Like, come on, he's defeating one of the great Iga shinobis in a 1v1 combat 6 months after he's been using a katana. This guy's been a ninja for like what, 50 years or something. Like, it's so stupid. Like, it's ridiculous. But yeah, and like I said, like the fact that you can't even use a grapple hook as Yasuke. Only Naoe has that. So like right now I'm in this like optional area, whatever. I can't reach this optional castle as Yasuke. It's impossible because you have to use a grapple hook to get inside, because Yasuke can't climb the walls to get inside. So he's utterly useless to what I'm doing right now. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, it's so bizarre of a design decision. And I think like once this game gets made, obviously, and it's out now, I don't think Ubisoft's going to survive this personally. But I mean, like Assassin's Creed will still exist if it's like as like a, you know, owned by
someone will
somebody
buy
else.
it.
Yeah.
Someone will buy the
Hopefully,
franchise.
Whoever the hell buys it, which is probably Tencent, they just make it one hero. Literally just do what Valhalla and Odyssey did, you know, make it one hero. That's it. Like, and then you can be male or female, whatever you want, doesn't matter, but just one hero for God's sakes. And if you really wanted to give a game with a female assassin that people would actually want to play, you would make an Assassin's Creed game set in Rome after Origins and have everybody play as Aya. Because she's one of the legendary assassins. Her name is, she changes her name to Amunet, I believe. Unless, if chat can make sure I'm right on that. I believe it's Amunet. If they made an Amunet post-Origins game where you play Aya, that would be great. And she's a female assassin, but she's like legit. You know what I mean? But like Naue and stuff, I'm just not sold on it whatsoever, personally.
Jesus de Villa gifted a sub. Thank you. Here's
Wait,
the
that video that Craig posted of the 2-hour credits. Is that real?
yes. That's the bloat of this game.
2 hours. Wow.
I'm sure this is going to sell you on the game, Verbal. This is right here is what this is a selling point.
I do not think I have ever seen you quite so tongue-tied.
Not yet, at least. I hope you aren't easily chilled.
That's a dude.
This is
Do
bullshit.
you think someone might see us?
Maybe.
Do you care?
Probably should, because I'm pretty sure back then they would put you on one of those crosses in the ocean and leave you there till
The
you
crazy thing
die.
about this, though, is that like when Yasuke is like historically, if he even did exist in Japan at this time, like William Adams is also in Japan at this exact same time. Like he's actually there operating around. He's with Tokugawa Ieyasu, who literally Hattori Hanzo works for, one of the legendary Iga shinobis. But instead, no, you're going to play as Yasuke and Naue, who didn't exist. So cool. Good.
Not at all.
And then look at the camera.
Oh god.
I don't mind giving you a reach around.
He was just undoing his bottom. Look, now he's grabbing his dick.
Oh my god.
Hell yeah, this is what I've always wanted in a samurai game.
And then straight after that flash, this happens. Share what I've got. Straight after like that interaction actually happens, he comes out with this.
I'm not gay no more. I am delivered. I don't like men no more. I said I like women. Women. I said women. I'm not gay. I would not date a man.
That was core member.
This game is like one giant meme.
It really is.
It's
been
very
getting
obvious
rocked all
that
week.
like, you know, they started making this game when the whole ESG thing was, they still thought that could be something, you know. So like it's the same time when like, you know, like Concord's getting made and all those kinds of games. So it's basically all these games are getting made around a time where these developers, I guess publishers too, really thought that people would like love this stuff. You know what I mean? They were convinced.
Here's the woman's
And it came out
romance.
now and they're cooked.
Let me guess, she's a dyke.
Journey
Oh,
over
yeah.
She's
thousands
canonically
of
lesbian,
steps
yes.
That begins with a kiss.
This would be a lot hotter if they were naked.
Is anybody straight in this game?
Canonically, Yasuke is straight because he technically his canon
What?
romance is Lady Ochi, which is that
Yeah,
like
the woman
who's
who
emperor
birthed
lady.
emperors.
Yeah, which is ridiculous. That's like it's like one of the worst.
Okay.
Things. Not only that that's bad. Let me tell you another thing they ruin in history. So Oda Nobunaga, the guy that buys Yasuke, he ends up committing seppuku. So you know when seppuku happens, you take a big knife out, you stab yourself in the stomach, and you cut your organs out basically, and then someone else is your second. So the idea is like you commit suicide, but it's not suicide because the person you trust the most then cuts you down with a katana. So it's not suicide and you die honorably. That's a big thing in Japan. Anyway, so that happens no matter what. Oda Nobunaga dies. That's real life. In this game, what ends up happening is Oda Nobunaga ends up choosing Yasuke as his second over like anyone else that could have been close to him. He picks this guy that he's known for 6 months to be the one to basically send him into the afterlife, which is like insane. Is another thing that just like ruins the history. So it's just like everything they do in this game is like it's basically like liberal people just taking a setting that they're not familiar with and just
doing what they want with it.
Well, I
putting
love
their
over the head
identity
with it.
politics
Yeah.
into it.
I love that the Prime Minister of Japan bitched about this game.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was who that was in that video. Have you seen that video? That's the Prime Minister
I've seen that.
like talking about this game and shitting
No, I
on
haven't
it.
seen it.
The thing
Oh
that
my
blows my
God.
mind about
It's
this
all in
clip,
Japanese. It's subtitles.
how bad this clip actually is for what it's actually representing. I can't get over how bad the effects are. Like,
no,
they don't
like I
even
said,
look like half.
What if they
most of
scissored
these-
Rhino? Would you buy it?
Not if they're like this far away from each other doing it. That's what it looks like with this. It looks like they're not even kissing. It looks like they're
Well,
headbutting each other.
To be
They're just
fair, that's
going
where I
like this
paused
and
it. I
making
think
it-
they do.
It doesn't even look like they're actually making out.
Oh, it doesn't. Yeah, I see that. It looks like they don't even touch.
Yeah,
Hold
like
on.
it's.
That begins.
It looks like
Rhino
they're
only
headbutting
likes
each
the
other.
parts where they eat the Snicker bar upside down.
Look, they got their
Down now,
face.
Tom.
They're covering it there. Hold on.
Yeah, but wait until look. It looks like
Yeah, look. Oh,
look at
they're not
that.
even. Their lips aren't even touching.
This is supposed to be a quadruple A game.
What if they made a mini game out of them scissoring? Would you buy it?
You know when we used to watch VCRs.
X square, circle.
You know when
X.
we used to watch VCRs and we used to pause it at a certain point and it would stretch the tape? That's what this would be.
Oh,
That's
that
what this would
Yasuke
be.
Simulator game. I forgot about that. Came out too. It's got like low riders and shit in road for feudal Japan. For some reason, he has a low rider.
That game's going to be a troll, which is fine. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, like
That's
I just
funny.
can't get over the effects. Like even look at the hand. Look at the hand on the hip. It doesn't even look like
They got
it's on
giant
the
man
hip.
hands. Look at those hands.
The thing about this
Chop
is,
wood with those hands,
I
boy.
can't believe they
looks
actually
horrible.
admitted to this, but they did admit, the executive producer of the game admitted that over half of the team that made this game, this is the first time they've ever made a game.
So how can they
It's
come
like-
out and say it's a true quadruple A game?
Because Ubisoft's, like I said, like this is like basically unless
fucking
Far Cry
ridiculous.
7, which is apparently called Far Cry Rise, comes out this year, which it's supposed to, but who knows if it does. It's Ubisoft. If that doesn't come out, this is the only game they have to like save them in a sense for the whole year going onward. And in my opinion, it's just not enough. It just isn't.
Mhm.
And the quality that's here is like, this game is just like, despite the fact that it runs okay on PlayStation, the fact that like what they've done to the historical side of this game and the characters and the world, it's grounds enough for most people to just kind of be like, F Ubisoft, I'm done, never again, I hope they die kind of thing. And like, honestly, again, if I wasn't like reviewing this, I probably would not
You
be
wouldn't
playing
be playing it.